Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bubby Brister and Friends Fantasy Football Podcast. Bubby kicked us out of the studio. He was pissed that me and Nick each missed the playoffs, so he told us to get out. So now we're recording in the bathroom. Nick, we should make this quick before security comes.
Yeah, we need to hurry up, man. It's definitely a shady situation, but Bubby's right, man. We work for him, so it was a sad year for us.
I've never seen this side of Bubby before, man. I'm a little nervous.
He was very ornery.
All right, yeah, let's break down the standings real quick. This week was our final regular season game of the week, so we'll be heading into the playoffs. We got our standings are final. There's still some high fives to be earned. Most of the high fives are given out in the postseason, so Smash Hawk at 10-2 got the number one seed and also finished with the most points for at 1,934. Yeah, great season by Smash Hawk. His 1,934 points were 159 more than the number two scorer, which was the Punishers. Punishers finished 6-6 and had 1,775 points on the season. But the number two seed is Chicken Salad Sandwich. Chicken Salad Sandwich finished 8-4. They only scored 1,540 points on the season, which is the lowest out of all the playoff teams. And they also had the least points against on the season with 1,385, which is
it. That's it. He lucked out and he faced all the teams at their worst to get 50 like 1,385. It looks like an absolute enigma on the stat sheet. It's like the nearest point is like lowest point is like 1,520. Mm-hmm. So it's like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, 1,385. It looks like I forgot to schedule him a game or something because there's nobody even in the 1,400s.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah, that is a wow. Yeah, the lowest scoring points out of the 7 playoff teams, but yet got the number 2 seed. The only team that got a bye week was the number 1 seed, Smash Hawk. Number 3 seed is Pit Sweat at 7-5, and the number 4 seed is the Renegades at 7-5. So we only had 4 teams this season with winning records.
Yeah, because you have the log jam in the middle.
Yep, and here's where the log jam starts. Number 5, Punishers, 6-6, which is not great considering they had the number 2 points scored. So a lot of tough losses this year for the Punishers.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the Boy Scout Trombones at 6-6. If I played him this week, if I would have won, he would have been knocked out of the playoffs, and you would have been in. You can blame the Pittsburgh head coach for that, for you missing the playoffs also. Yeah, I don't know how they lost to Arizona at home, with the new offensive coordinator.
That's that F game every team drops every year.
Yeah, that game was bad. Tonight is the Patriots-Steelers game. It's the lowest over-under in like 20 years or something.
Christ. Yeah, it's going to be a shit show because backup quarterbacks frenzy with great defenses with backup quarterbacks. So it's going to be a travesty out there.
Yeah, Trubisky. Anytime Trubisky's in the lineup, you could take the night off.
Trubisky gets Belichick. Ugh, over under 3 picks.
Oh yeah, that's a push at least. And the number 7 seeded team, the team that edged you out by only 23 points, was Dead Money at 6-6. The perennial searching for a quarterback, Dead Money.
Yeah, it's true. He had a couple. The DJ Moore, you know what I mean? I would put it at DJ Moore's footstep. DJ Moore had such these blowout games that kept him above the water just long enough, and it's yeah. I mean, that's what he did.
I could have probably done this for every week to see where you could have came up with the 23 points. So I focused on your week 9 matchup, which was head-to-head against Dead Money. If you had played Tank Dell, who scored 29 points, over Demario Douglas, you would have only missed the playoffs by 4 points. But in that game, you took a 0 from the Bucs defense. So if you play Tank Dell over Demario Douglas, which you probably should have done, and then any other defense, you'd be in the playoffs.
I mean, I would have been in the playoffs if I didn't in last week. My box score. You'll hear my box score this week coming up. I'd have been in the playoffs if anything would have turned out different. I've had bad years. I've had bad games. I've had low scoring games. This wasn't a low scoring game I did this week, but this is an enigma I've never did ever in fantasy football ever, and it happened and at the worst time, and it's a first. So we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, it's all about timing. Fantasy football, it is a thin line between like just look at Chicken Salad Sandwich 8-4 with the just no points scored all year, and 8-4 is no joke.
He switched his name to Nino Brown, and everything changed.
Yeah. My last note on the standings is New Day. They finished 5-7. They had the most points against on the season, 399 more points than Chicken Salad Sandwich.
Jesus.
At 1784. So Chicken Salad Sandwich gets the good luck award, and New Day gets the bad luck award.
Yeah, because you're talking about like the nearest point to his is 1694. So that means 80, like almost 90 points more points were scored against this team than any other team. 90 points is a lot of points.
That is a lot of points. Yeah, that is brutal. That's like an entire week. Chicken Salad Sandwich, we'll get this in the box scores, only scored 65 points this week.
Fuck.
That has to be. Yeah, we'll get to that in the box score.
Fuck, man.
Let's keep rolling. I think I hear Bubby down the hallway.
He's pretty upset. Yeah.
All right.
He's searching. We're hiding.
First up is Trombones versus Fresh Meat. That's me. I finished 4-8 on the season, which is brutal. 151, 144. Trombones 6-6. Won 2 in a row to get into the playoffs. This game was all Deebo Samuel. 35 points, 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground and 1 in the air. Of course, I traded him to him.
Yeah, that's just serendipity right there. It's just that's that stuff that hurts. You come back to bite me in the ass. That sucks.
Terry McLaurin did me no favors. A 0 from Terry McLaurin. Now I don't like Terry McLaurin anymore.
Shout out to James Conner turning in, The Walking Dead. He is not. He is well alive. He put up a good score, 32 points for you. He's a fantasy all-star for you this year. And this past year, Laporta, you used him all year. He's a great pickup for you all year. He was all money for you this year.
Yeah.
I think the bad time for you on that is like Waddle. I think Waddle just never came through for you this year.
Yeah, he never got going.
Yeah. So, and T. Higgins, it's just, you just never got anything from these guys this year. That's what kind of like made up your season.
I've mentioned T. Higgins this coming week out of spite. I'm going to, James Cook has been solid for me all season at the Bills running back, and it makes more sense to play T. Higgins. And I'm like, no, T, you didn't earn it. Like you're riding the bench.
Yeah. You're playing for high fives now. So I would keep going. Yeah.
To James Conner, 32 points. Trombones dropped him after his Week 5 knee injury. You'd think he'd want a redo on that one because he could use James Conner in this playoff matchup.
Yeah, he definitely can because Mostert is kind of banged up now, so he's being usurped. So that's a problem. That's an issue.
And Achane is back, and Jeff Wilson. I don't think he played much last week, but he's also back.
Yeah, so it could be that Miami backfield's getting a little dicey.
And then Puka Nacua finished as the 9th-ranked wide receiver. Big reason why Boy Scout Trombones get into playoffs. He had 23 points this week, 4 catches, 105, and a touchdown. And then I had a note. Yeah,
Puka's everything to his playoff run. Puka had huge games at the beginning of the season, so he was racking up some wins early in the season when it mattered. As his team kind of cooled off later. Puka has over 1,000 yards receiving this year, so he's like breakout candidate. And he's a rookie, so he'd be part of the offensive rookie of the year team. Yeah,
to get a top 10 ranked wide receiver for nothing is pretty crazy.
No doubt.
Travis Kelce, he's good but not great this season. He's a number 2 ranked tight end. Only 2 touchdowns since Week 7. Also, the last
Kansas City's offense
game,
is Kansas City's offense kind of jacked up, man. They're just not.
Yeah.
They're not as good this year, and I know the Kansas City hopefuls like, oh, you guys are just trying to say bad blood on us, but there's something definitely wrong in Kansas City this year compared to last year's, and I think it's the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Kelsey's last 100-yard game was Week 7. I mean, he's been solid, but when you draft the number 1 tight end, you want spectacular. Kelsey's the number 2 ranked tight end. You mentioned I had Laporta. Laporta is the number 3 ranked tight end. Like, I got him for free. He finished 9 for 140 and a touchdown. Like, that's a game changer.
Yeah, yeah. You know, your fantasy special teams gave you 17 points.
Oh, that's good. My last note is I finally started Sam Howell after acquiring him in the trade. I just want this on the record that I'm out on Sam Howell as the Commanders' long-term play at quarterback. If he plays next year, that's fine. Like, you know, he's cheap, and if they have a lot of work to do, but he doesn't use his wide receivers at all. It's bizarre. He's one of the passing yards leaders. He all he does is throw to the running backs and the tight end and Curtis Samuel, who's barely a wide receiver.
I feel that standard Commander issue. Like passing to the running backs has always been a thing for all Commander quarterback for the last decade.
Yeah, they're bad. Let's go on to the next box score, which is Pit Sweat versus Renegades. This is a matchup of brothers. Renegades 177, Pit Sweat 124. Both teams finished 7-5. Renegades was the team that started 5-0 and then lost 5. They've now won 2 in a row, so they righted the ship just in time to get into the playoffs. They also tied for high points this week, so they split 20 high fives with Smash Hawk.
Fancy. That's real fancy there. You know, highlights. Again, here's another tight end coming out of nowhere, Trey McBride.
Yep.
You know, Trey McBride. He has been a fantasy monster for the last I think since week 6 or something. He's been just coming on and just getting a lot of targets, and he is a big deal. You know, Michael Pittman Jr. Value because he was not doing that with Richardson, and now with the mustachio wonder out there, he's 11 catches is big time.
Yeah, 11 catches, 105, and a touchdown for Pittman Jr. I have a note on Trey McBride, 22 points. He's a thing. He has 91 points since Week 7. Kelsey has 92 points since Week 7.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah,
I mean, since Week 7, he hasn't averaged. He has one game with less than 5 targets, but beyond that, it's been 7 targets or more.
And he's kind of quarterback proof now because he did the first half of that was with Dobbs, and then the second half of that was with Murray, and then Zach Ertz requested his release, so he doesn't have to worry about him coming back now.
Nope, he doesn't. Zach Ertz was like, "Well, the young guy's catching all over me, and that's nothing he could do." You know, DK Metcalf had a huge Thursday night, which makes you kind of wonder, how come Seattle don't use him like that? Because he is a monstrous guy, and for them just for him to have this is his biggest game he's had all year with 37, and the nearest game he had that was 20 points. But beyond that, it's the first game, second game of the season, he went over 100 yards. So it's definitely wondering, or it's almost malpractice in Seattle what they're doing with DK Metcalf.
Yeah, get him the ball.
Yeah, you know, and for Pitt Sweat, you know, it's just a somber. You know, I don't know. Alvin Kamara, huge. He continues to be a fantasy monster. He would, I think next year we would nominate him for the Fantasy Hall of Fame. I think this year we'll instill him in it. At the end of this year, he'll be in it.
Yeah, he drafted him at a discount because remember he started the season suspended. He drafted him at number 40 overall and still finished as a top 10 running back.
Absolutely. You know, very Pit Sweat. I would be wondering about DeAndre Swift value. He's been not doing well.
Yeah, he disappears every year, and I guess you can't blame that as being part of those bad Lions teams now because he's disappearing at the just wrong time heading into the playoffs. If he were on your roster and you have a playoff game this week, do you play him? Could you trust him? His other option would be Tajee Spears, who had 18 points this week on 75 yards, which is not nothing.
Right. He could have made this game a little interesting with like starting the Chargers defense and playing
Hmm.
Spears over Swift. He would have still lost by a few points, but it would have been a nail biter though.
Yeah,
He
he
would
would
have
have beat
yeah.
many of the other teams. Like he just
Well,
happened to
I
be
think
playing the high scorer this week.
yeah. I mean, I think he would have probably. Wait a minute. Technically, he would have won if he would not play Kansas City head coach and play Spears and play the Chargers defense. He would have won. At
Yeah, and that's
34, then it turned to 64, then 18. He's over the hump. He is high fives, high scoring team. If he sat Kansas City defense, sat Kansas City head coach against Green Bay, the red hot Green Bay Packers. So that'd have been really interesting. That is an avenue for him to win if he would have did it.
right. Yeah, that's a lot of what ifs, but they're not like big what ifs. Those are just small, simple decisions that would have been easy to make. Mahomes, more like ho hum, only 18 points again.
Yeah, he's definitely not. It's on the show. What's it? First, not first take, but the first things first. Mahomes Mountain. He's not up. He's not top of Mahomes Mountain. His own mountain. He's not atop there anymore because he's not playing as good. At the end, he might turn on the playoffs. But if they get in the playoffs, and right now they're not number one seed, and he might potentially get one round bounced. They're gonna start looking at Mahomes a little differently.
Yeah, especially with these new coaching staff questions that are going to be just being asked more and more every week. They've, barely scraping into the 20s without Eric Bieniemy. I have two
Exactly.
more notes on Renegades. Dameon Pierce is back to life, and at this point, you just want a serviceable job from him. He had 16 points, 41 yards, and a touchdown. It's his first double-digit scoring game since Week 5, and he was decimated at running back injuries this week. So Pierce coming back to life at a good time. And then Jalen Hurts had 31 points, 2 touchdowns, and he finishes the regular season as the number 2 ranked fantasy quarterback, which is what you wanted when you drafted him.
Yeah, that's definitely the value because I think he was second drafted quarterback in the league or maybe third. So you definitely want that. Dameon Pierce, though, even that 41 yards, it doesn't look good on paper, but they play against Denver, and Denver has good run defense. So it makes sense.
Yeah, and now you can at least feel confident in playing him this week in the Renegades playoff matchup. On
No
to
doubt.
the next one, Chicken Salad Sandwich. There's really not much to say about him. He only scored 65 points. The Punishers won 128. They finished 6-6 to earn the playoff spot. Like, Punishers could have been the number 2 ranked scoring team and missed the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned for Chicken Salad. I mean,
Yeah.
there's real concern here. There's a first round bounce happening because this is not good. I mean, based off this sheet here, you're looking at like Derek Carr. I mean, he might start James Winston this week.
No, he should be playing Josh Allen. He'll get Josh Allen off the bye week.
All right. Well, you're Josh Allen, but Singletary is being like going to a backup role now.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen's cooling off.
Which, that had to happen at some point.
I think he dropped Higbee already. I think I saw a transaction where he might have dropped Higbee already. He dropped him. Stevenson is out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts.
He got the cue. Josh Downs is come back down to earth a little bit. Pittman is stepping up in Indianapolis.
Miles Sanders getting no carries.
Yeah, you can't trust him.
It's not good. And Cooper Kupp can't be trusted either because he's not 6 for 39. What the hell is that?
Yeah, he has to play him this week in his playoff game.
Shit. You know what I mean? You're just hoping, fantasy owners just hoping for Cooper Kupp to go back to 2020 Cooper Kupp because it's not it. You know?
The Punisher's got some questions too. Austin Eckler is just not right this year. He looked like he was going to fix it in weeks 8, 9, and 10, but since then he only has 30 points combined in the last 3 weeks.
And especially there's a report that the coaching staff is looking to give Kelly a little more touches due to Eckler not playing as well.
Wow.
So that's something else. But, lucky for him, he does have the Rams running back who is Williams. He's been absolute money.
possible league winner. Like, he could ride him to the championship game. He has 71 points
However,
last 2 weeks.
however, he has Christian Kirk, who is out.
Out.
So that is not good. Evan Ingram, great money, great value, but now we got a bad quarterback. We got a Berthall out there.
Oh, CJ
Beathard, who is not good.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting that he didn't start Travis Etienne. He started Curtis Samuel over him, which is really weird. There's no way I would do that.
I think Etienne was questionable going into the week, and maybe because he had the Monday night matchup, he didn't really want to roll the dice. But yeah,
that's gross.
Etienne's a must start. You don't want to. It's worth it to wait on a guy like him.
Yeah, I would have. No way. There's no way I would have no.
Number 2 ranked overall running back. Yeah.
You're gonna start him no matter what. I'd rather take the 0, trying to run the risk with that guy than Curtis Samuel, because Curtis Samuel will give you a 0 playing.
Yeah,
he'll give you a 0 playing.
CeeDee Lamb, I love CeeDee Lamb. 32 points, 12 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown. He's a number 3 ranked wide receiver on the season. This is his 4th game out of his last 6 with double-digit catches.
Yeah, I mean, CD is definitely they're running routes, getting him open, and Dak is using him as a nice security blanket. So, all is right in Dallas right now, so I'm not mad at it.
To wrap up the Punishers, Eckler hasn't had a 100-yard rushing game since week 1, and then
golly,
yeah, Justin Herbert only had 12, but Derek Carr on Chicken Salad Sandwich only had 14, so that kind of canceled each other out.
It's tragic that. Do you understand how tragic it is for the Chargers? Like, the Chargers score 6 points.
Yeah, and won.
6 points. You know what I mean? Like, you have Justin Herbert, 6 points. Man, there is a coach about to get fired.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Did you see his little wimpy tirade like 2 weeks ago at the press conference?
Yeah, he is not happy, man.
But, like, I rolled my eyes watching him, and I'm nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't imagine what these just giant millionaires were thinking watching his little crappy press conference where he tried to act.
They're like, we're already deciding on who our next coach going to be. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, there's already a short list. So on to the next one. We got New Day Co-op versus Sweetness 34. New Day needed a win here, and he didn't get it. Sweetness 34 played the role of spoiler. Sweetness 34 only won their 3rd game of the season, finishing 3-9. New Day finishes 5-7. Yeah, absolute blowout here. Brock Purdy, what a great find. Number 8 ranked overall, and he rode him most of the season.
Injury to insult. He even started kicker. So it's like he even started kicker. Oh my
God.
He left that kicker slot empty. So it's like, I didn't have to have nobody there to beat your ass. And he had a 0 from Marquise Brown and still scored 150 through Brock Purdy and Hubbard. Hubbard, like 104 yards, 2 tutties against the Bucks. He had a couple of catches out of the backfield. And Nico Collins has come back he's come back now, especially with Teg Doe going down. 9 for 191. It's like, good God.
That kicker thing is so weird because he set his lineup. Because last week he didn't have Bijan Robinson in, and Bijan is in this week. So he's I don't know. Heater, you got some explaining to do.
Well, I mean, 150 though. They keep it going, man. He started Seattle's defense, which was, I think, questionable at best, because I don't think Seattle's defense is something I would start against Dallas.
Especially against Dallas, yeah.
Yeah, and we have Miami defense on the bench against Washington.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Washington is running a high school offense.
He had a chance of scoring 40 high five this week, and he kind of swung and missed because he had avenues to do it, and he just didn't do it. That's clean and simple. Yeah.
The 2 defenses in this game went head-to-head, Cowboys versus Seahawks, and they combined for a -7.
Hilarious.
Yeah, New Day. looking at New Day, you see some double digits here, but then you see the two running backs that finally came back to bite him here. Gibbs only 9 points, Warren only 8 points. So that low investment in running backs bit him at the absolute worst time of the season.
Yeah.
And then Algier fell off a cliff, with Bijan's emergence, so he couldn't play him. Tua 26 points. That's about it.
Yeah,
Brandon Cooks had a nice end to his season.
Yeah, that's what in there. We'll give it to Brandon Cooks there. Garrett Wilson, man, I'm sorry. There'll be better days in the future, but this year is just not it, man. He had T-Law on the bench, with 33 points, and before he got injured, and Jets defense on the bench who scored a safety. So I'm kind of shocked he would start Jets. He would sack Dallas against Seattle, against the Jets, who had faced Atlanta, who is like the Atlanta Falcons quarterback is like good for like over under two picks every game.
Yeah, he's bad.
He's good for 2. I know a guy who's a Falcons fan. He's like, dude, this guy throws 2 picks a game. So I was like, it's just guaranteed 2 picks.
I kind of get the Cowboys' need against Seattle. There were questions about Geno Smith's elbow injury coming into the game. A tough break here, though. And I get Trevor Lawrence on the bench behind Tua with Tua's matchup against the Commanders. Tough break here, schedule-wise, though, with Stephon Diggs on a bye week and a must-win game. The NFL needs to do a better job with their bye weeks.
The bye week so late, it's just tough.
Yeah, and like the Chargers had one in like week 4 or 5. This is what you do. You just give off 2 divisions every week for like 4 weeks, from like weeks 8 through 12 or something like that.
Yeah. Because I got hit with the bye weeks too. So yeah, it's what it is. I mean, I know the Tampa Bay Bucks, their bye week was like week 5 or something, or week 5 or something. So you're talking about they're playing the rest of the season, grinding it out, getting injured, and this and the third. It's like you're looking for a day off. And playing overseas.
Yeah. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Bucks, Buck, what you think versus stealing the wins? Nick needed a win here and didn't get it. He lost 128 to 119. Stealing the wins, finishes 5-7. CJ Stroud has been your miracle man. He only had 21 points this week, which is still pretty good, but he's raised the bar pretty high. Where did he finish for the season? CJ Stroud is the number 5th ranked quarterback on the season. That's insane.
And I picked him up like off waivers, just like, all right. So I had Goff and I dropped Goff.
Yeah, I got stuck using Goff most of the season since when I traded Lamar Jackson. You took a 0 here from Trey Sermon. How did Trey Sermon wander into your fantasy lineup?
Through you snatching Moss.
Oh yeah.
You snatched Moss.
Last week.
So I was kind of stuck.
Yeah, it's stuck. Trey Sermon's mom didn't even play Trey Sermon last week in fantasy football.
Jeez, not his mom. I thought it'd be something there. I thought maybe get a little bit of value. Because Moss was getting 10 carries from Jonathan Taylor, so I thought that maybe they were going to keep the 2-back little system just a little bit, but they just they fell behind and then they started slinging the ball, so it just became like a lot of throwing. So Sermon had no value. I got hurt.
3 zeros. That's crazy. Cade Otton, Tank Dell, and Trey Sermon, 3 zeros.
Do you understand that? Do you understand, like, this is a first? Because I've never had 3 zeros, and the 3 zeros are people I started that played, and none of the wide receivers and the tight end got no targets. Like, Tank Dell got no targets before he got injured and went down, and that was it. Broke his leg. He's gone. Cade Otton played the entire game, no targets. Sermon played the entire game, no targets, no carries. I'm like, that's amazing that this even happened. If I'd have started anybody else, if I'd have picked up anybody else off waivers, like there's other player backups that got like 4 or 5 points, I had a chance to win. But in fact, I started three people who did not, Tank Dell's been hot, so I can't.
Yeah.
A part of me is like, damn, maybe I should have, because even there at Tamron, I don't start Ridley. He kills me. We already talked about it last week. This week,
what happened to you.
He was down to earth. He went down to earth. Ridley went back down to earth with 4 catches for 26. We're just like, what are you doing? But it taken that T-Law threw for almost 300 yards. So it's like, what is this?
With Kirk out.
Yeah, with Kirk out. So what the hell? But it went to Evan Ingram. So that
So
was something.
you,
I mean,
you started 2-6, right? And then won four
yeah,
straight to finish 6. Yeah, you
yeah.
just ran out of gas here. This happens in real sports where the team just has to fight so hard to get back in the thick of things, and then you just run out of gas. Like you lost Jonathan Taylor and Tank Dell here in a must-win game, and like they were just hurt. And
I
then K
nursed, I
Dot
nursed, I
was
nursed
always
Jonathan
the
Taylor
lottery
back.
ticket.
I nursed Jonathan Taylor back. You know, and
You found him
he,
in the woods and breastfed him back to health.
yeah, and he gave me like 5 straight games of good. 20 points easy. You know what I mean? He was easy 20. I have the number 1 ranked wide receiver. Tyreek Hill. I drafted him that way. I say he's going to be that. He was that guy. He is that guy. You
Great
know,
pick.
Mike Evans. He's number 7th ranked wide receiver. Crazy targets. He has great value this year, which is wild. Just ran out of gas. So it's sucks. Even my fantasy like special teams, I got 24 points. So I'm like, that's good too. So it's like 24 points is solid. So it was tough. I lost by 9 points.
Who's your biggest disappointment this season that you drafted that's still on your roster? It's got to be either Madison or Ridley, right?
It's definitely Drake London.
Oh wow, okay.
I drafted Drake London. He's still on my team, and Drake London, he's been on my team the entire year, and he only has 573 yards receiving. He has 110
But
points on the year, so he's
weeks,
just I can't trust to start him at all.
right?
I mean, but I can't necessarily drop him because there's value there. But and Kevin Ridley's been kind of annoying this year. But everybody else I've just dropped. You know what I mean? I've just got rid of that pissed me off, and I just get rid of them like it's bye. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
Drake London, weeks 4 through 8, he had, which is 5 games, he had double-digit points. But yeah, he hasn't really done anything since week 9. So yeah, I get your answer. I think Madison would be my pick for you.
I don't know, man.
No,
Madison.
I'm looking at his numbers. He's fine. But
Yeah, he's just what he's supposed to be. He wasn't. You know what I mean?
right.
He's supposed to be like the bell cow. Like I should have a couple more 20s in there. Only having 2 20-point games is not good enough. There should have been he should have been like 5 or 6 of them. So I mean, it's
Ridley
what it
was
is.
like a poor man's Tyler Lockett. Like
Jeez.
you just never knew when to play him.
Yeah. We're still in the wins. He McCaffrey came alive,
Yeah.
start killing it. He had Aaron Rodgers, and he picked up Baker Mayfield. And he
Yeah,
been
rode
rolling.
him all season.
Yeah, St. Brown gave him a touchdown, only 2 catches, 49 yards, but a tutty got in there. Chris
Achane.
Godwin is definitely his. You look at him, and he's definitely disappointed in Chris Godwin this year. Chris
Yeah.
Godwin's this. There's a lot of drama in Tampa Bay right now because Chris Godwin's upset with Chris Godwin. He played the entire game last Sunday with only like 3 targets, and no catches, but he has a rushing touchdown
He
on
should
1
change his name
carry.
to Chris Devil win. Chris Devil lose.
So it's like tough. He had he had Thomas from Washington. I think I had Thomas from Washington as well, the tight end at one given moment. So, but A-Chain came through. A-Chain came through and
Yeah.
wrecked me because this is
If he had a healthy Achane all year, or going into the playoffs, he's the best team to not make the playoffs, I think. Like in his current form with his current roster, I think stealing the wins is the team that didn't make the playoffs that would have scared me the most if I was facing them.
because golly, A-Chain every game he played through healthy, he scored no less than 25 points.
Yeah, or never not scored a touchdown either.
It's like golly, dude. 2, 4, 6, 7 touchdowns on the year, and he only played in like 4 full games and a total of 6 total games. So it's like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
So it's big, whatever. But I mean, still the wins, 19 points fantasy wise, and he had Stafford on the bench for 33 points.
Yeah, and fun fact: stealing the wins never played a head coach this season.
Wow.
So he does not like to roll the dice, which I kind of get. It's like a stolen base in baseball. Like,
Yeah,
it's worth it if you get it, but if not, it'll ruin your inning.
I'm still in the base every week, baby.
Yeah, me too. Final game of the week, we got number one contender Smash Hawk finishes 10-2. They scored 177 versus Mile High Salute, who was 5-5, lost their final two to miss the playoffs and finished at 5-7, 177 to 120. Dak Prescott, just wow, all season, number 3 ranked fantasy quarterback. He since week 8, since the Cowboys bye week, 40, 39, 50, 24, 44, and 39. Hasn't thrown a pick in 3 weeks. Only 2 since the bye week. Yeah, Dak, wow. And he drafted him 84th overall.
Yeah, and Smash Hawk, I would say be careful because he will be he could be a potential second round bounce. His team doesn't look as winnable as it looked at the beginning of the season. Beginning of the season, he was like a juggernaut marching through. Now there's a lot of question marks. Dak is really solid, but December Dallas's schedule, it gets sketchy. And that's where that's the problem with him. Like next week he has a bye, but the first game of the playoffs for him, they go against Buffalo at Buffalo, so that could be a bad time. And then they're at Miami, that could be a bad time. So Dak could suffer from December blues.
He's due for some regression, that's for sure.
Right. Rachaad White, he taught Rachaad White how to walk, and he's just been, he's been coming on strong.
Brees Hall is like Forrest Gump running around with leg braces on. I don't know how he's doing it. 20 carries for 41 yards last 2 weeks, but still 26 points in those 2 weeks.
Yeah. Jamar Chase, do not get fooled by this number this week. 31 points, 11 catches, 149.
Think so?
This is not going to happen every week. Not with that
Jake
backup.
Browning, baby.
Slow down, man. He's no.
Jake Browning.
No. They had no film on this guy. Trust me. They get film on this guy. He's gonna start wrecking people. It's the problem. Sutton 2 for 77. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's a fluke.
Enjoy it, but he had 0 points from Johnson. So that's tough. Kansas City Rice, Rice 14 points. I mean, he's had them all year. So, I mean, props for riding with them. But on his people that didn't play, Josh Jacobs, the Raiders they're in free fall mode. TJ Hawkinson will get value because Dobbs throws to him. So I'm feeling that.
Jacobs is a number 4 ranked running back on the season. Yeah, I mean, he tied for high points on the week without his best running back and his best tight end.
Yeah.
And but Justin Jefferson, so his next game, he gets to pull this car he's had a Ferrari in his garage since like week 5 or whatever, and he finally gets to drive it.
Yeah, be careful.
Next playoff game.
I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful now. Mile High, man, feel bad. Christian Watson went down with like a non-contact injury. So that's something they have to monitor. He was doing a jet sweep, and all of a sudden he grabbed his hammy. Jordan Love, man, value. You know what I mean? Value right there because he's been getting after it there. You know what I mean? And
yeah, he looks like a real quarterback. He's been getting better every week. It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, and Mixon has been getting after it, so that's
2
amazing.
Touchdowns, 68 yards, 34 points. Let's see where he finished on the season. Number 9th ranked running back. He pretty much finishes in the top 10 every year. Drafted 35th overall. So if we redrafted today, I'm sure he'd be, in the second round.
Yeah, he definitely would be because I didn't see that. I didn't see Mixon doing that.
Yeah, I didn't either. Ayuk has been really good all year. Yeah. Mile High Salute's up there with stealing the wins as a good team that missed the playoffs here. He did
this with he had like negative points fantasy special teams this week.
Yeah, and if you count the tight end and flex in there too, like the first half of his lineup looks good, and then it's Freiermuth 5, Dotson 4, -3 by the same. The fact that he's playing Jahan Dotson in a must-win game in the final week of the regular season is like, come on, dude.
Yeah, that's really tough.
I drafted Jahan Dotson. I had high hopes, and I got out of there so fast.
All right.
Yeah. So that's it. Let's preview the playoffs, nominate our Hall of Famer, and get out of here before Bubby finds us.
Yes, yes.
So we got the Popeyes playoffs. We got a sponsor this year. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, if you click on the playoff bracket, it's Popeyes playoff. It's not game day without wings. Popeyes, order now at participating U.S. restaurants.
All right, fair enough.
So, did you ever have the Popeyes chicken sandwich that caused a bunch of murders a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Though it's a pretty good sandwich.
I never had it. Maybe I'll get one tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Smash Hawk number 1, they got the bye week, so we will move on to the number 5 versus number 4, Renegades of Funk versus Tampa Bay Punishers, 7-5 and versus 6-6. Punishers are favored big time, 160 to 139 projected here. Both teams have set their lineups, so no faulty projection. Herbert, Eckler, Kyron Williams, C.D. Lamb, Tyler Lockett, Turd Ferguson, got ATN in the flex. Vikings defense versus Raiders, that's a good matchup. Aubrey, and then the Saints head coach for the Panthers for the Punishers. Hurts, and then here's where it gets dicey. Damian Pierce in his RB1, David Montgomery is RB2. Metcalf, Pittman, Goddard is back, so that should help. Gabe Davis in the flex spot. Get the fuck out of here. You cannot play. Don't do it, Dave. Don't do it. Steelers defense going tonight. Jason Myers, the kicker for Seattle, and then the 49ers head coach for Seattle. That's good. His other flex options, over Gabe Davis, he can play Kareem Hunt. I'd do it. He can play Antonio Gibson. I would do it. Brian Robinson is hurt. He can play Jackson Smith and Jigba. I would do it. Trey McBride. Get Trey McBride in there.
Yeah, I'll get McBride. McBride's yes. The thing is, like, look, Gabe Davis has that boom potential. And last time against Kansas City, 3 touchdowns, like 200 yards receiving. If you remember that playoff game.
He was on the bye in the previous game against Philly in Week 12. Six catches, 12 targets, 105 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, he's chasing that dragon.
But then all of a sudden, 0 with the Jets, 2 for 6, 56 yards, 0 for 2 on Cincinnati. But then 9 catches for 87 yards, touchdown against Tampa. But then 1 catch for 6 yards against New England. 3 catches for 21 yards for 3 points. So it could be scary times, scary hours for. It's just Gabe Davis is just the boom and bust potential is real.
He's chasing that dragon.
Yeah, he has nothing to lose. He's facing a kind of a daunting task at Tampa Bay. Yeah. So I mean, you might have to roll the dice.
That's true. The Punishers are a high-scoring team, number 2 on the regular season. Number 6, Boy Scout Trombones versus number 3, Pit Sweat, 6-6 versus 7-5 again. Boy Scout Trombones, the Cardinals have a bye week, so he can't use his quarterback, Kyler Murray, who he probably doesn't want to use anyway, but it was his best option. So he's playing Gardner Minshew versus the Bengals. I could see that game getting out of hand a little bit.
Maybe.
Gus Bus, Jerome Ford, Puka, Debo, Kelsey. He's rolling with Deontay Johnson against the Patriots tonight. I don't know about that. 49ers defense, Cameron Dicker as the kicker, and the Dolphins head coach. He's got the Monday head coach. That's a solid play, because then if you don't need him, you can just bench him.
Yeah, but I think I would probably look to get D-Hop in there instead of Johnson.
Yeah,
get D-Hop in there instead of Johnson. Because D-Hop has been, even Thielen. At least he's good. Thielen's good for 10. You know what I mean? At least. You know what I mean? D-Hop, the last, since the backup quarterback's been in, Levis has been in, he's had no less than 5 targets. You know what I mean? Last week he had 12 targets. You know what I mean? 75 yards. So, I mean, it's worth it.
Thielen has been good for you all year, so even if he bites you in the ass here, you can be like, I was just playing my percentages. I know he's been down lately, but I don't know. The Patriots are a tough matchup, and Johnson basically quit on the Steelers a couple weeks ago. Did you see that?
Yes. Yes.
That was wild.
He literally quit. So you can't start somebody who literally quit and who has never had 100 yards this year.
With Trubisky at quarterback.
who's guaranteed 3 picks.
And a crucial mistake here, Boy Scout Trombones. You never play your flex on a Thursday.
Yeah. You don't
No,
do it.
because now
No.
if you lose a running back or something or a wide receiver, the flex stands for flexible. You want that to lock last.
Correct. It's bad times.
Pit Sweat. Mahomes is projected for 27 against Buffalo. It seems kind of high. Kamara is a Camaro. Pacheco, solid all year. A.J. Brown, Olave. Kyle Pitts. And he got DeAndre Swift at the flex spot.
I just want to start. I want to start Kansas City. Kansas City. I would not start Kansas City defense. I would definitely start Charger defense at Denver. Going against Denver at home, then starting Kansas City at home against Buffalo. Because last time they played against each other, they scored 30 points. You know what I mean? Josh Allen's gonna be like, I'm gonna fucking gun. You know what I mean? There's just nah. I would sell stock on Kansas City.
We're both picking the Punishers to beat Renegades, right?
Okay.
I'm picking Pit Sweat to beat Trombones in this one.
Yeah. I mean, Pit Sweat needs those. He needs to sit Kansas City head coach. Don't play that game, man. Sit head coach, sit the defense too. You know, Kyle Pitts has not had a good year. So, I mean, it's just, you know, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
He's living off a name he never earned. Yeah, Chargers defense is definitely the way to go here. Noah Brown is interesting with Tank Dell out.
Yeah, Noah Brown definitely interesting.
It looks like he's going to play DeAndre Swift in a revenge game.
Come on, man. I definitely would. But I would definitely start like Noah Brown over Chris Olave, or at least get I would get him in there because there's no way. Like Noah Brown has been like absolutely scoring points, and with Tank Dell going down, it's man.
Yeah, Olave's banged up. The final matchup in round 1 is the number 7 Dead Money 6-6 versus the number 2 Chicken Salad Sandwich at 8-4. This is upset written all over it. They both set their lineups. Josh Allen is in at quarterback. A.J. Dillon, Singletary. It's the 2 running backs. Keenan Allen against Denver. Odell Beckham as the wide receiver 2. Gerald Everett is back from the dead somehow, playing in tight end. Cooper Kupp is in the flex. Jags versus Browns. Dustin Hopkins, the number 1 ranked fantasy kicker. Texans versus Jets. That's a good matchup, even though it's on the road. Dead Money is rolling with Geno Smith. He really didn't have any other choice. Pollard, Barkley, Devontae Smith, DJ Brown. Rolling the dice with Isaiah Likely. That's interesting. With the Mark Andrews injury. Derrick Henry in the flex spot. I believe he's healthy. Never mind. Browns versus Jags. That's a good matchup with the backup quarterback. Packers coach Monday night. You got that Monday night head coach also.
Look, man, I would not start Geno against San Fran. They are on fire. There's just no way. You know what I mean? If you have Dobbs, I mean, look, Dobbs against Las Vegas, okay. He should be a play this week. I mean, I get it. He scored 10. I think he scored 10 points against Chicago, so that scares you, right? But then prior weeks before that, 23, 31, 33, 32. I mean, you know what I mean? So he's like, even when he played for the Cardinals, he was still getting 14, 15, 33, 22. So I mean, he's
into it.
It's just
this is a disaster tough. Waiting to happen with Geno against the 49ers on the road.
Right. You know what I mean? Where like I think was it last time they played against San Fran?
2 weeks ago. 180, no touchdowns, a pick for 10 points. So it's not like that was even like in week 2 or whatever. This is just like this is on like Thanksgiving. That was the Thanksgiving night game. Yeah.
At Seattle.
Right. Yeah.
So now they're playing in San Fran, and do you think we're gonna get a different result? That's not good.
I'm taking Chicken Salad Sandwich. I think Dead Money is a better roster, but I don't know. This quarterback thing has been biting them all year. Chicken Salad Sandwich has some kind of stuff figured out with the low point totals, but
I'm going a little different. I'm going with Dead Money on this because Dead Money, I have faith that he'll find a way to pull Geno out. You know, I think Barkley's gonna have a pretty good game. I think Smith's gonna pull out a good game against Dallas, and DJ Moore. I think he has a little more playmakers. I just don't trust AJ. I don't trust AJ Dillon. The Keenan Allen 20 points is not true. It's just, come on, man. That's too high. Against Denver defense, come on. Odell Beckham might give him some value, but might not.
Dead
Cooper
Money is
Cooper
the
Cup has to prove
defending
it.
champion.
Cooper Cup. I don't see him win a Super Bowl, but I mean, I don't see him getting first round bounce either. So I mean, it's and I think he still has time to adjust his roster a little bit more and pull Amari Cooper in there, maybe because Coop is going to be consistent, especially with Flack the Dactyl throwing the ball. Man, I would definitely put him in there. Find a way to get him in there.
Yeah, Dead Money is a 4-time champion, the defending champion, so he's a team to look out for in the playoffs. That's it for us. You got anything else before you dominate the Hall of Famer?
I got nothing else, man. Let me get in this fantasy Hall of Fame nomination before we get out of this bathroom. All right, so this week I nominate Mr. Dallas Clark. Man, this guy right here in the early 2000s, major cog for the Peyton Manning offense with Marvin Harrison and stuff like that. He played for the Colts for almost 10 years. He did play for Tampa for a season too, which was fun. And he played for it, and he retired last season with the Baltimore Ravens 2013. He is Super Bowl champ. When they won Super Bowl, he was on that team for the Colts there. He has a first-team All-Pro in 2009. He has a Pro Bowl in 2009 as well. He was tight end of the year in 2009, and he's part of the All-Pro team in 2008. So he has over 505 yards. 505 catches and 5,600 yards receiving. He has 53 career touchdowns in his career. Absolute. He was great. He's part of that. He's part of that Iowa tight end pipeline.
Yeah, 1,000-yard season in 2009. Yeah, first round pick, number 24 overall. So welcome to the Fantasy Hall of Fame, Dallas Dean Clark.
Yes.
All right, so that's it for us. We'll see you next week. Good luck to all the playoff teams.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys.